I've seen it. You've seen it. Hell, we've all seen it every day. How different people act depending on where they are. The same human being, different environment. Walking into a luxury hotel, suddenly you're quieter, cleaner, more patient and respectful. A person walks into a casino and time doesn't matter anymore. The same person gets on social media for 20 minutes. Now their attention span starts changing. Again, a different environment, a different behavior. That should tell you something immediately. Disney figured this out a long time ago. That's why Disney doesn't feel random when you walk through it. Nothing about the place feels accidental. The music, the smells, the employee, scripting, layout, visual, cleanliness, movement flow. There's nothing left to chance at Disney. Even the way employees answer questions feels engineered. Because it is. Disney understood something most landlords still ignore completely. Human beings adapt to environments faster than they adapt to instructions. That's why Disney feels different before anybody even explains the rules to you. The environment starts shaping behavior immediately. And the truth, I'm really starting to understand. Landlords are kind of the weird ones. No, seriously, think about it. Humanity's entire history says environments shape behavior. Corporations know it, the military, casinos, luxury hotels, airlines, hospitals, and social media companies know it better than almost anyone. Meanwhile, landlords are still standing inside chaotic properties talking about people should just know how to act. Really? Based on what exactly? Social media alone should have killed that idea forever. Nobody downloads an app thinking, I'm about I'm about to get conditioned. But it happens anyway. People start talking differently, thinking, reacting, arguing, expecting and feeling differently. Even their emotional rhythms change. And nobody set them down in a classroom to make that happen. Their environment did it for them through repetition. That's what people miss about conditioning. Most conditioning doesn't feel like conditioning while it's happening. It just feels normal. That's the dangerous part. Human beings normalize environments extremely fast. That's why somebody can move into a clean property, then 6 months later starts living completely different inside it. Because people adapt to what environments repeatedly tolerate. You gotta lock this in. That's the real conversation landlords avoid. And before people get uncomfortable with the word training, let's stop pretending humans aren't constantly trained already. We just renamed it. Now it's culture, branding, leadership, onboarding, social norms, user experience, community standards, influence, engagement, behavioral science. Just fancy words. The same reality though. Human behavior gets shaped through repeated environmental patterns. That's true whether people emotionally like the word or not. And this is where landlords accidentally lose control without realizing it. Because ownership does not automatically mean environmental leadership. Some landlords think they're driving simply because they own the property. A mistake. Meanwhile, the actual environment has been conditioning behavior for years without anybody steering it intentionally. That's why hiring a property manager doesn't magically fix instability either, because the environment itself stays inconsistent. The conditioning stays inconsistent too. People adapt to patterns. Every ignored issue, delayed response, inconsistent standard, tolerated mess, weak follow through, vague expectation starts teaching. Not eventually, right now, today, yesterday. Tenants are learning what matters and what doesn't, and how serious leadership actually is, whether standards are real or emotional. That learning happens on the low. Most landlords never even notice it forming. And then one day, they walk into a property asking, how did it get this way? Meanwhile, the environment has been teaching people exactly how to behave the entire time. That has to hit hard because bad tenant behavior starts looking different. So, what exactly has this environment been reinforcing over time? That's a way deeper question. One property conditions urgency, another conditions delay. One conditions communication, another conditions avoidance. And when behavior repeats long enough, they stop feeling temporary. They start feeling normal. That's when environments begin developing identity. You ever notice how certain properties always seem to have the same problems no matter who moves in? Always communication issues, damage, conflict, late payments, and turnover. At some point, you gotta ask a hard question. Are tenants entering the instability or adapting to it? Those are not the same thing. That's why I keep saying leadership is environmental, not emotional nor verbal, because human beings constantly study environments. They study them for patterns, consequences, predictability, consistency, and behavioral signals. And once people realize standards shift depending on pressure, timing, personality, or convenience, they stop taking the structure seriously. Oh, this isn't done consciously either. It's adaptively. That's why some landlords accidentally create environments where nobody reports problems early. Communication breaks down. Maintenance gets delayed. Trash normalizes. Standards weaken. And reactions become the operating system that you built. Then leadership acts shocked later when instability compounds. But instability arrived through you. You trained it slowly. And honestly, that's the uncomfortable part about all of this. We teach before we tax. We partner before we punish. We build people. Therefore, we protect property. So was the environment intentionally designed or did instability slowly design it for you? Answer carefully without emotion. What's craziest to me though, some landlords are not even managing environments anymore. They're inheriting conditioning they've accidentally created themselves. The tenant moves in, adapts to culture, then pass the behavior forward to the next tenant. And eventually the property starts teaching instability all by itself before leadership even gets notice. Shit, if they even get the notice at all. That's when the environment stops feeling owned and starts feeling alive. And you're the only life source.